We know that shopping online can be a confusing and sometimes daunting task. And sometimes all you want to do is talk to a human being. Our family-run customer service team are on call 24/7. Full of friendly, warm-hearted individuals, all trained to make your shopping experience as easy and enjoyable as possible. Not only will they take your order, they'll also help and guide you on your shopping journey.
Okay, so your first row, and you can sew them in a 3 to do the Y seam straight away if you want to, but I decided that this was the way that I was going to do it. So I think going from what I've got left, I'll just sew another. So I've got a 4 row at the bottom and a 3 row. I've already sewn some. How are we doing for time? So what I'll do is I'll show you how to insert this into a Y seam now. So I've got my 2 little gaps there. I've got my next one, which I'm going to put in. Take one that I've marked. So I've got all my portions marked on here. Then what I'm going to do is marry them up at the end, put a pin through the seams so that they, where the crosses are, they marry up. Take it to this portion, so I've got 2 free ends here. Put in where this cross is. I'm not going to leave the pins in, but I just want them to line up. So I've got my cross there. You might not be able to see it because it gets a bit fiddly. And then what I want to do before I start sewing is make sure that I put the pin through that cross there. So then I pin that end down, make sure they all line up, the edges all line up, and I've got my pin in this end. And I start from, if you've got a free end, as in there's nothing else sewn to that, start at that end and finish where your Y seam is, because then you can be in more control of it. So let's just get that lined up properly. So go to your machine. I'll just move that needle over a little bit. Then get your needle lined up.
Okay.
Take the pin out. Drop your needle down so you know that it's going through the cross that you've made with the friction pen. So it's going through that cross now. Keep everything lined up together. Now again, you can pin if you want to, but because you've got these little crenellations, they just line up nicely anyway, and you know you've cut accurately, so you shouldn't have a problem with that 1/4 inch. So whiz along. Then when you get to the other end, make sure that all of the fabric you don't want stitching together, so the next block is out of the way, and just slowly come down to where you've got that point. Stop there, reverse, that's done. So that portion of the seam is done. We're then going to rotate. So now I've got this seam is free, this seam is free, and I want those two, if you look at the whole thing, I want those two joining together. So fold it over where you want it to be. Then same process, line up your crosses at the end, pop the pin in.